Hello, everyone. Addressing the world's most pressing healthcare challenges starts with an environment where you can bring your authentic self to work each and every day. I'm really pleased with the progress we made in creating a more diverse and inclusive workplace, but we can do even more for all of our colleagues, including our lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender employees. And that's why I'm so glad to welcome you to the first ever EMEA Open and Out Summit. Today, you're going to hear personal experiences from some of your colleagues, discuss what it means to be open and out at work, and learn what actions each of us can take to ensure a more diverse and inclusive environment. In meetings like this, they allow us to engage in conversations, celebrate progress, and learn how we can support our LGBT colleagues. So I encourage each of you to bring your voice, your ideas, concerns, experience, and perspective to the table. As you know, I'm proud to call myself an ally, and I remain so committed to advocating for equality and fair treatment of LGBT persons in the workplace. So thank you for fostering an environment where we respect everyone's dignity. Have a great meeting and enjoy your time in Prague.
Wow. Welcome, everybody, to the very first EMEA Open and Out Summit. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here, celebrate a big day with us. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I've ever seen such a diverse group. It's like we're having people on a WebEx out there, we're having people in the room, we have a few senior leaders, we have the so-called normal employees. Sorry, you're not, well, you're kind of normal, you know. We have members of the LGBT community, we have strong allies, hopefully at the end of the day, stronger allies than before. So we're really looking forward to having a great, great meeting with you. So why are you all here? But why are we all here? We really, really want to start conversations today, and that's the topic of the whole day. We want to start these conversations, bring all your different perspectives in, discuss about it, learn from each other, and most importantly, bring things back home. My name is Kerstin. I'm part of the EMEA Open and Out leadership team and have the big pleasure to work with a fantastic group of people. Most of them are standing in the back. If you're standing here, sitting here, could you please stand up quickly so that you all know who you can turn to if things are going wrong. So we have Duncan, Heather, Laura, Claudia, Lodewijk, and Mike also standing there in the back. So these are the people who have tried to put together this whole thing. And why did we do that? Well, of course, we have our personal motivation, that's for sure, and we love doing these things. But it's also all in the foundation of our credo. And you all have seen over the past years as well, you've seen the credo, I guess, everybody for a couple of years. And over the past weeks, we have been a renewed credo, especially in the second paragraph, where we have an even deeper impact on the diversity, on the respect for everybody to bring his or her authentic self to work. So this is why we're actually doing this. And we do have a packed agenda today. It's quite difficult to struggle with 3 things at a time. Okay, we're going to go there. As you have seen the agenda a bit before, we are having one little twist. We do the break a bit earlier. I reckon it's very early today, so you probably want to have a coffee a bit earlier. That's fine. So we have a few speeches. We have workshops in the afternoon where you can really come and discuss with us and bring your own perspectives in. We have a panel discussion afterwards. And of course, you all in here in the room, but also out there in the WebEx, you have the chance to ask questions. And not just by taking the microphone and standing up, you can also pose your questions via Pigeonhole, and we've put the address in there, so please write it down if you can, and help us having a good discussion in the Q&A session before the lunch break. I have a few other things to say, and now I have to read it so I don't forget anything. For those of you who have their phones with you here, and especially for those on the WebEx, we are having a Yammer competition. So please post things on Yammer, discuss with us on Yammer. We have the hashtag OOEMEA18, and those who are the most active on Yammer will get a few prizes that we'll announce in the end. So you're absolutely allowed to take your phones and not always look up here. So go in and share things out there as well. We also have, and you've seen that we have these postcards that I'm using now for, to read what I want to say. But the postcards do have a meaning for you as well. You see a few more down there in the back, so you can get more. But we actually want to invite you to, during this day, write a postcard to yourself. So commitments, thoughts, things you want to take home with you, write them down on the postcard. Put your own address in there. And at the end of the day, you can give the postcards back to us. And we are going to send them back to you in a week or two, so that after a couple of days, you get a friendly reminder of what you actually have committed to. And the very last thing I want to say before I hand over to our sponsors is that you all got these name tags, and we actually love to give them back to us at the end of the day, because they're only borrowed. So, thank you very much for that. I wish you a fantastic day, have loads of fun, and I'll hand over now to our sponsors, Michelle and Steve.
Well, good morning. Good morning. It's so nice to see all of you here for our first ever summit. And we will be 80 strong by about the middle of the day as some early flights come in this morning. So I want to first say to you that I stand here in front of you with a lot of pride. First, I'm really proud to work for a company that has a CEO who is an ally of the LGBT community. I'm so proud of Laura and Kirsten, who had this idea starting in early January, that we would create a regional open and out ERG. And that's turned into, and we're gonna have our first summit, and we're gonna open more chapters, and we're gonna have this great team that's gonna make this possible. So to stand here today, knowing all that work and dedication and have it be real, makes me very proud of the team. And I'm also proud to be a sponsor. So I want to tell you why I'm an ally. And I have, for my entire life, I've had two really good friends. I know them better than anybody else, and they know me better than anybody else. And they're both gay. And I've been with them. I've been with them through the conversations when they first came out to me, the conversations of should they come out to their families, the conversations of how great that felt after they did, the conversations of now should I do it at work, what could happen, and I've been through all the conversations about getting married, adopting children, having a great life. And so for me, I've always been confused as to why there's so much hate around something that's all about love. Love of yourself and who you are, love of a partner, love of a parent, love of a sister or a brother or a niece or a nephew or a neighbor. And so why I want to be an ally is I want to be part of that solution to tip it back to love. So I'm really proud to be here. And I'm here to understand from you what else I can do. How can I continue to be a stronger ally? How can I help people who still are struggling with conversations? And I'm here to learn. So thank you for being here, and I'm going to encourage you to be yourself. This is a safe environment. Be who you are. Be proud of it. And let's share how together we continue to make this a great company and a great environment for all. Steve, why are you proud to be a sponsor?
Oh, first of all, a great talk there. And I mean,
Thank you.
it was hard enough to follow Alex, and now I've got to follow you as well. So it's like we're going down this slope fast. No, I mean, I'm very, very proud to be here today. I mean, I'm proud because I represent the consumer group, and Trevor, unfortunately, has to be in the US to talk budgets, and believe me, he said he would much rather be here than discussing next year's budget discussions. I mean, and I think, just looking back at Alex and his video there, I had the real good fortune to be in New Brunswick, I think it was on the 27th September, when they launched the new Credo. And I don't know how many people here saw the video live or actually watched the webcam. But if you watched him, and certainly in the room, he was absolutely authentic in what he did. And especially in that second paragraph where he talks about respecting the individual, respecting the inclusive workplace, and respecting people's dignity and diversity. And he got quite emotional. So if you haven't watched the video, you watch it. I've never seen Alex get quite emotional before when he spoke. But by the end, he kind of could hardly finish it. So really, really emotional. I think it shows his authenticity behind what he says. And certainly if you look at that video, I think he truly, truly believes that. And I think he made the reference in the conversation that the world outside we can't control. There will always be people out there who are prejudiced. The politics may move in a direction that we personally may not like. But as J&J, we can actually stand for the values, and as long as we as a company take those values, and we can lead the way. And I think, very interestingly, I think he sees the world that we can set an example in the world that others can follow. So, I think a very, very inspirational leader, and we're very lucky to have someone like that, leading our company. I think my story behind being a sort of ally and why I'm particularly proud to be here is because my story started about 1.5 years ago when I think it was Laura, who's hiding at the back there, came to me and said, I'd like to go to the US, and I'd like to kind of, attend the Open Out workshop there at the time. And as a typical budget manager, I said, well, that's a bit crazy. Can't you do anything in Europe? It's a bit cheaper. And then we had this conversation really around, there was nothing in Europe at the time. I don't think there was any real chapters. There were certainly no conferences. And so I said, well, if you go there, you need to go there and you need to come back and change the environment. And, and through that story, Laura went there. She met, I think, some of the people in this room. And actually, between them, they've then created this workshop, which is, I think, much better for our budgets in the future. So, no, I do think it is really interesting that as we, often in the company with J&J, we're very US-centric. And I think what is really, really good here is that we bring this workshop to Europe, and we create our own Open Out, ethos and spirit. We're a very, very diverse region. In some countries, we've got a very, very liberal governments, very, very open governments. In other parts of our region, we could not have this meeting. It would be illegal, and people are prosecuted, for being, open out. So I think we can set an example within J&J that this isn't a safe environment. And even if you're in those countries, you can feel that there is a community out there, and you will be protected, and you can be who you want to be. So I think today is for you, to be who you want to be. But also think to the future about how you can be ambassadors, for Open Out, and how we can make Johnson & Johnson a safe environment for people to be in our region, and create our own culture and our own environment within this region. So, particularly proud today, and I'm really looking forward to being involved and talking to all. And I'll perhaps pass back to Michelle for some final comments.
Thank you, and thanks for your story too, and for letting Laura go to the US. Before we move on, I do want to recognize a couple of other people in the room, just so that we show how strong the support in EMEA is for the Open and Out ERG and for the LGBT communities. So I'm very happy to have Chris Sturkins, who's the company group chairman for pharmaceuticals, with us today. Welcome, Chris. And from Global, we have Bentley De Beers, who is the VP of HR for Supply Chain Global. So thrilled to have Bentley here as well. So thank you both for coming. So my expectation, besides for the Yammer contest, is that you guys give this gift of today to yourselves. And I know it's BP, and I know there's tons of things going on, but disengage from work. Stay engaged here. Think about, be present in the conversations today, in listening to the stories that are going to come out, and you traveled all the way here, make it worth your visit. And then what I'd like you to think about, because we all have a role. What will you do differently starting tomorrow? How are you going to make EMEA a more diverse, a more inclusive, and a stronger partner for the LGBT community? What are we going to do differently? So enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you very much.
Great. Well, good morning, everyone. Who's excited to be here? For those of you that I have not had the chance to meet, my name is Jim DeVoke, and I'm one of our leaders of our Enterprise ERG Open and Out. During the day, I work in our consumer business within marketing on our wound care franchise, and I'm super, super excited to be here with all of you to represent our Enterprise ERG. I first want to start out by thanking Michelle and Steve for your sponsorship of this event. It means so much to bring so many colleagues from across the region together. And I also want to thank all of the leaders who put this event on. These types of events take a lot of personal time, and it's so important that we put something like this on for our colleagues to actually experience, learn together, and thank you. And then lastly, to all of you for taking time out of extremely busy schedules to be here, to be present, to actively engage. We're really looking forward to the day, and I'm excited to start the conversation here to tell you a little bit more about Open and Out and our enterprise strategy. So why does it still matter? Why are we all here, and why do we do the work every day to create an inclusive workspace where there is a sense of belonging? Today, 71 countries, almost half of the world, continues to criminalize same-sex relationships, and that's just not okay. Why does it matter? Today, up to 43% of those that identify as gay or lesbian, and a profound 90% of transgender people have experienced some form of harassment or discrimination in the workplace. And this is why we're here. And why does it matter? Today, people cover in the workplace because of fear. And LGBT people often downplay aspects of their authentic self in order to avoid discrimination. That's why we have an ERG like Open and Out for our colleagues that are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, and for straight allies that are helping to not only make a difference in our day-to-day jobs, but also in the communities in which we live and work. So, who represents our enterprise leadership team? So our two co-chairs are Jean Bennett and Jessica Jangaspero. Jean will be here this afternoon. She had a change in flight plans, so she was going to be on stage with me here, but she'll be here this afternoon. And then we have myself, responsible for membership engagement, and then Margot Holcomb in charge of events. The way that we're structured our ERG is that we have 4 pillars that tie directly to J&J's enterprise ERG strategy. The first is around talent, focusing on recruiting, retaining, and developing LGBT talent across the company. The second is around community, where we're focusing on making a difference in the communities in which we live and work. We have a pillar for marketplace, where we're delivering products and services to better meet the needs of LGBT people. And lastly, a pillar for culture, where we're focusing on creating that inclusive environment within the workplace. And so each of our pillar leads represent work that is executed across the globe. So for those of you in the audience that may be interested in getting more involved outside of your day-to-day campus activities, you have the opportunity to engage in some of the work that each of these pillars lead day-to-day to continue to enhance our experience as an ERG across the company. And then the other 2 things that make our ERG continue to advance different areas of the company is we have a representative for policy and a representative for transgender. And Jenna Cook, who is here today, she will actually be speaking later this afternoon. We're just really excited about our leadership team and all that we continue to accomplish. So then from an executive sponsor standpoint, with the promotion of Ashley McAvoy to Executive Vice President, Worldwide Chairman of Medical Devices, we were able to call up Bentley, who's here today, and our two fearless out leaders, Michelle Ryan, who's the treasurer, and Bentley, who's our head of global supply chain and HR for EMEA. And what makes our ERG unique to the 12 or 11 others across J&J is that we have a whole host of senior executive sponsors that continue to step up and support the LGBT community across J&J, and we're extremely thankful for that. So then when you look at our 2018 objectives, we set up big goals for ourselves when we started the year, and we've been extremely pleased with our progress and results to date. We have a vision to make J&J the employer and healthcare company of choice for the LGBT community, and the way that we plan to do that is this three-pronged approach. The first is around doubling our membership, and the way that we did that this year was focused on our ally campaign and really finding and seeking allies to raise their hand in support for the LGBTQ community, and also around chapter expansion. And I'll share with you a little bit of our expansion efforts in a few slides. The second was around building a culture of inclusion, and we've done this through active engagement both in our communities and with our employees through recruiting events, and also external Pride parades during June Pride, where many of you may have marched with other J&J colleagues. And then lastly, around enhancing our reputation. This is so important, and I would be remiss to not recognize our leaders and chapter in Germany who received an external award this year, the Pride 100, which is a huge achievement and recognition to all of the work that they've led over the last year to receive that type of award for other potential future employees of J&J, to see that we are an inclusive company and there is a culture of belonging that they see themselves here to be a part of as well. So congratulations to the team in Germany. So when we talk about our growth, I think this slide really sets the stage. We like to say that this year in 2018, we truly have become a global ERG, and you'll see why in the next slide. In 2017, we had about 1,000 members across the globe, but we were primarily focused in the US. And in order to touch more lives and to inspire more colleagues, we really needed to refocus our efforts to approach our O&O expansion in a much more broad outward-thinking approach. And so on the next slide, you'll see that year to date, we've added 23 ERGs across the globe. We are the fastest growing ERG in J&J. We've added over 700 new members, and you can see that within EMEA, where all of you represent the region, that is our fastest growing region in the company, and it truly is it's driven by all of your leadership, your courage, and efforts to continue to bring and make our employees feel like they belong. So congratulations. I hope too that if you get the opportunity to participate in some of the workshops today, we'll actually be having a workshop on starting a chapter. So if you're from a country that is not listed, we want you, you belong, and we would like to get you, give you the resources to start something where you work. So lastly, how can you engage in Open and Out? The first thing I'd ask is for all of you to pull out your cell phones and join, if you have not already, our Open and Out Yammer page. This is where you can learn about all the different pieces of information that the ERG is leading around the globe. And you can also then receive more information on our newsletters and also use that as an opportunity to connect with members. I've actually been laughing with so many of you in the audience today. I feel like I've had a virtual relationship with most of you over the last year, and now I finally got the chance to meet you. So use that as an opportunity to connect. And then join existing efforts. Most of our campuses have chapters, but if you don't, the next thing that we ask is that you start one. So I will leave it at that. I'm really excited to be here and to meet all of you. And I'm going to now pass it over to Krista Brandstetter, who is the head of diversity and inclusion for EMEA.
Good morning, everybody. Really, really thrilled to be here with all of you today in Prague, which is not only a really beautiful city, but a great place to be for the LGBT community. And I'm not sure whether all of you are aware that Czech Republic is considered the most open country in Central Eastern Europe for LGBT people. So really great pick in terms of the location. Need to get familiar with this one. I really wanted to start by baselining us, and we've heard a few of those did you know so facts around LGBT people already. Did you know that 82% of the LGBT students report they are being harassed verbally? Did you know that 1 of 10 LGBT workers has left a job because the environment was simply not accepting them? And on the other side, 1 in 4 stay in work because they feel they are accepted as individuals. Did you know that in the UK, 28% of workers are staying in job, primarily, and have, describe themselves as being completely out at work? In the UK, 4,800 young people are homeless because their families dismiss them because they are going out. In 10 countries globally, death penalty can be applied for same-sex acts, and 8 of these countries are in our EMEA region. The suicide rate within the LGBT community for young people, so 15 to 25 years, is 3 times higher than for their straight peers. And with young kids, it's even 4 times. J&J is operating in 77 countries globally, and LGBT is illegal in 14 of those countries where we are employing 10,000 employees. Just have that, oops, sorry. That was the name tag that we need to give back, so make sure you get it. So I'm sharing those, and I think these are really important facts to know. This is why Open and Out matters. This is why we are here today. And this is why we know we have a lot of work to do in order to achieve our global mission, which is diversity and inclusion is our strategy and the key focus area in J&J, and really means you belong. We've seen the updates in the Credo recently, which really reinforce our commitment in the company to ensure that every person feels included, to ensure that everybody must be considered as an individual, with their diversity and dignity respected and their merit recognized. I'm sure you're familiar with the 3 strategic pillars of our D&I strategy. And you will also see, and you've seen that in the ERG strategy from Open and Out, these pillars are really a key area to focus on. Advancing our culture of innovation and inclusion, building a diverse workforce, and enhancing business performance and reputation are key areas to focus on and will remain in our strategy. When I started in this role, I did experience a lot of activities, a lot of passion and energy around the 3 strategic pillars and diversity and inclusion. Lots of teams, lots of groups are thinking how they can bring our D&I strategy to life. And this is why we looked into how we can really funnel all these activities, all these great, all this great work into the right direction, and in order to make the greatest contribution to change. And this is why we built our governance model in the EMEA region to make sure that all the activities, all the actions are driving the right outcomes. So you know that the Global Office of D&I is building our strategy in co-creation with our business leaders and also in co-creation with the employee resource groups. In each region, we are having a regional D&I ad board with members, senior leaders who have been appointed by the executive committee to making sure that the strategy that is embedded in the EMEA region really resonates with the needs of the region and also has an opportunity to communicate back to global to make sure it's becoming a true global strategy. Each of our sectors, each of our functions is represented at the ad board, and these leaders are going back into their leadership teams at the regional level to make sure that D&I strategy is embedded and really resonates with their business strategy. Lots of sectors, lots of functional teams are operating at the regional level within their functions to roll out the D&I strategy. And like Open and Out, there are many other ERGs who are working on the special needs of communities and of certain groups. Our global colleagues are aware of many more ERGs globally, and I'll speak to them in a second. Here in EMEA, we mainly know WLI, and Open and Out has truly become really, really active in the past years. And we have a few more. What we have launched only a month ago are country D&I councils at the enterprise level. So what does that mean? We've appointed, with the great help of our company group chairs, D&I champions from the business who are leading these councils. So they are bringing together representatives from each of the sectors, from all the functions, and from the ERGs at a country level to really discuss what it means for the employees at a local level to really experience D&I and to make sure it's lived at the local level, and every employee has an opportunity to experience D&I in the same way. So it's a great opportunity for the ERGs to be present and to really collaborate at a local level, to also make sure that the activities are aligned and really resonate with the employees. So for those who haven't been contacted yet, for those who are not part of the country councils, please feel free to reach out to the D&I champions and connect and make sure that you become part of that. When I when I started in this role and I was talking about ERGs, I realized that ERG is a term that is not broadly known in the EMEA region. And many of our employees are unfamiliar with the opportunity of becoming part of an ERG or even being active in opening a chapter. What I think what is really important to be aware of, that employee resource groups are led by employees, and the employees are really defining the need they have in order to meet the special needs of their community. Each ERG, however, requires executive sponsorship. So it is important that ERG chapter leads are really working with the business to make sure everybody's aligned with their activities and with their needs. And what I really want to also mention is that those ERGs are critical in the way how we bring our D&I strategy to life. They are great resources to tap into, and they are really making a difference in the way how our diversity and inclusion strategy is lived. It requires a lot of time and extra efforts, and many of those chapter leads I know are doing the work outside their day jobs and over weekends and free days. I'm saying that because I think it's also a big ask to people managers and people leaders to allowing that work to happen, but also to appreciating and to recognizing the work. So thanks to everybody for, on the one hand, driving and leading this work, but also thank you to the people leaders who are really supporting and helping and are open to their employees. So just a quick look about on all the global ERGs we are having in J&J. As I said, I mean, the most known is certainly WLI, the most active certainly is Open and Out. We are having some activity also from in EMEA recently from the African American Leadership Council, and also from ADA, which is the Alliance for Diverse Abilities. Generation Now is becoming very, very active as well, so more to come on that in the region very soon. But I'm sharing that because I'm sure there is much more interest in opening those chapters and really contributing and adding value by opening those ERGs. So I've already spoken about the value the ERGs are adding to bringing our diversity and inclusion strategy to life. Actually, the work they are doing is very, very concrete. On big focus typically in the area of talent, when it comes to attracting diverse talent to our organization, onboarding those talents, but also helping in developing and advancing. Great programs are built and created by ERGs to bringing those development opportunities to life. Recently, we are also experiencing fantastic insights when it comes to building our business from ERG groups. You may be aware that we are considering and even changing our approach how we do clinicals in J&J because of the insights we got from the ALC community. So great opportunity also there, and certainly also when it comes to looking at the community we live in, ERGs are representing outside as well. We've heard about the Pride Award that you received. Many ERGs are active in recruiting fairs and really also representing J&J outside our own four walls. And last but not least, building a culture of inclusion, organizing events where people feel included and are really experiencing our culture in J&J. It's a huge role the ERGs and Open and Out are playing on that. I'm ending by sharing how J&J is contributing to the agenda of LGBT community and how we are every day looking into new opportunities. I'm not sure whether you're aware that J&J is a signatory of the UN Global Compact, which is a document that defines the principles of corporations, of global corporations, how to really ensure that you have harassment-free workplaces in corporations, and defining the standards that people are holding each other accountable to. We are making sure that we are reviewing our internal policies regularly to make sure the needs of the LGBT communities is addressed in the right way. Did you realize that when you travel to a country that is not considered safe for LGBT people, you receive an email from our travel security organization that just advises people what to take care of and how to react in case you're feeling unsafe. Also, our benefits policies are addressing the needs of the LGBT people in many different ways when it comes to talent mobility or special insurances. So certainly something to look into. And I'm Open and Out has been a great partner in advising also HR of special needs, and really, I'd really like to encourage you to continue doing that, because there's only so much HR knows, and we know in HR, but you're certainly the experts. Yeah, and last but not least, I wanted to share an advertising campaign that was launched in the US that also shows that we in J&J also see diverse consumers as our target group. And I'm sharing a video, if I'm able to click this link, and I'm not sure whether technology can help with that. Can anybody help me to click the link on How We Family? Because I'm... No,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work?
Through the presentation, it doesn't work.
Okay. So, okay. I was really thinking whether I'm sharing that, but I think I do that, and really inspired by the story, Michelle, you shared. When I was at the Global ERG Summit in the US earlier this year, and I attended an ally workshop in New Brunswick, and was really reflecting why I'm feeling so connected and really emotionally connected to Open and Out. And I realized that when I was a young student, just 19 years old, I wanted to improve my French. So I decided to work a season in a Club Méditerranée, which is as you know, a big resorts company, as a GO, how they called it, so gentil organisateur. And what I didn't realize is that there are many male tourists there who just think, the GOs are really there for their personal entertainment. And I was certainly not ready for that, and also had not expected this to happen. And I realized that many of my GO colleagues were gay. And I realized that these were simply great allies and great partners for me to protect me. So I felt, after a few days, really safe in this environment. And I realized it's also time for me to give back and to say thank you.